Dog of Two Head by Status Quo, first released in 1971. And continuing on from the experimentation of the previous album, we find ourselves as a listener slightly more closer to the Quo that we'd know and love on the Vertigo label. This is the last album for Pye. It's the first album not to feature Roy Lynes, who is sadly missed, although he has a writing credit on Umleitung, which opens the album, and really, start as we mean to go on. It is it's like 7, 8, 9 minutes. It goes on for a long time, and it basically starts off where the previous album left off, with that very long kind of noodling on the solo guitar from Francis, and some very interesting ideas. And as they said in the recent Frantic Four reunion, that bit where they're using the shuffle and it they said that, it's like 7-8 minutes long, and it's the best bit of the song. And I would be in agreement there. There's some other great tracks on here as well, including Railroad, which has been performed many times over the years. It's been a mainstay in the set and was performed on the Frantic Four reunion tours in full, which is great because on this recording you have the harmonica from Bob Young in the center of the track, and it really works. When you listen on headphones, the thing about this album is that the vocals are in the center, but the music is drowning it out, right? It's being taken over by the music, and that is what this album is all about. Now, I won't say too much about the fact that Nanana is on here several times, mainly because it's a concept-y thing that they were going for at the time, that as a listener now is kind of annoying when listening through the album. It makes it the shortest Quo album ever if you take those out, but the length of the songs, including Someone's Learning, which has got to be one of the most experimental things that they were doing in this era, it goes on for ages, but there's building on things. You hear that bit at the end, the da 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 da, which is built, from basically the word go, and I really like it. It's really good. But we should also talk about Mean Girl as well, which would later be a single once Pye realised that Quo were getting success. But here it's just an album track. There are no singles on this original album. They left off Tuned with the Music for some reason. They left off Time to Fly and Good Thinking and all that stuff, and made it basically an album-only kind of deal. And that's the thing. It works well as that. It didn't need a single. It wasn't really commercial in any way, and I personally, my favorite on this album is Something's Going On in My Head, which to me is like the boundary. It's like crossing the boundary between that psychedelic stuff they were doing before Mark Ellis and slightly on Mark Ellis, and the boogie stuff that they were doing after, which I've been told before has been quite a good way of looking at it. That way where it just goes, which, really, really works. So this is Dog of Two Head. I know that this is a very popular album in the Quo community. What do you think of it? What are your thoughts on this album? I've given you mine. What are yours? Do let me know in the comments below. And I'm probably going to go and listen to this album now, and Gerdundula as well, which is on this album, is a re-recording, of course, of a B-side from previously, sounding much better here. I'm going to go and spin it now. Let me know what you think below.